it here first. Your boy's giving up sports. I can't do this anymore, bro. I can't.
Barca hurt.
Bro.
Yeah, I knew that's what it was.
God, dude.
Barca, that game hurt me, and I didn't even watch it.
Bro, the thing with that is, like, the same thing happened last year. So this is soccer we're speaking of.
Mm-hmm.
And soccer, they got their 5 main divisions out in Europe. And then basically the top 4 or whatever teams from each division play together. It's a really cool setup. Basically, they call it the Champions League. So the top teams from those top leagues play together in one league, and that's kind of the ultimate trophy you can win. And so Barcelona was in the semifinals game. They played the first leg last week against Liverpool. They won 3-0. They had to come to Liverpool, literally just don't shit the bed, and sure enough, they go ahead and shit the bed. Like, all they needed to do was score 1 goal, and it would have been over, because essentially they would have been up 5 goals. With European soccer, like, an away goal essentially counts as 2 goals, and since Liverpool hadn't scored an away goal at Barcelona, they were going to be in good. It was just, I watched that whole game, and this is one of those things that always frustrates me with sports, because like I was saying, the same thing happened to them last year. They played, I think it was Roma, and they beat them either like 3-0 or 4. They beat them something at home. They had like a handed lead, and they went to play the second leg in Roma, and they just crapped themselves again. And so to have something like that happen back-to-back years, I'm like, I'm done. I am done. And especially, it was like, I was already frustrated after the Warriors game. Like, I'm a Lakers fan, but over the past few years, the Warriors have been kind of my second team, just because I love the way they play basketball, and I think it's one of those, like, you can hate on the whole KD stuff and all. I think I love Draymond because I'm that type of player where I'm like, you know, I'm gonna talk my talk, and like he's the type, he won't back down from anyone. I love Clay at the same time because he's just Clay's like the epitome of California, where he's just like, literally a couple weeks ago, just ran in the Pacific Ocean. That helped me get out of my little shooting slump. He's like the most chilled out dude that seems like he's high all the time, but he's just bulling, which is cool. And then, I mean, KD's bad man. Steph, like, greatest shooter we've ever seen. And the way they play the game is so fun to watch, where it's like, it's not selfish play. They move the ball around so quickly, like, so well, and they just put effort into, I don't know, it's just great basketball. That's like the epitome of what you want your basketball team to do. And so a lot of, like, I've been on their bandwagon in the past, especially with the Lakers not doing so well. Like, I've been cheering for them because it's cool seeing what they've been able to build, and because they've mainly been going against LeBron, and I hate LeBron, and so I'm just like, hey,
it's made it real easy.
Yeah, it's like, let's get this dub, guys. And so, I mean, this is kind of all looking like the year where at least this format of this Warriors team, it's like, this is the end.
Yeah, it looks like it.
This is the end, like, most definitely. And, I mean, this is one of those things, I think, where in the moment everyone's so ready for it to be done because we're sick of the Warriors winning and stuff like that. But you look back at history, and it's like, this is something we're going to be looking back at, and it's like, dang, it's cool we got to live through such live during a time where we had such an iconic team. Like this is one of the most iconic teams ever in NBA history, and I think people get so stuck. Like, I mean, the main reason everyone hates that team is just because of the KD stuff, and it's so stupid when you look at it.
Yeah.
It's just like, bigger
Grand
picture.
scheme,
Grand scheme of stuff. It's and I think his choice has like been justified even more with the play of Russell Westbrook the past 3 years and just what the Thunders have been doing.
Yeah.
Like, you look at that alone and you can't be mad at the dude for leaving that team.
No.
And I think it's one of those things where, yeah, you could be mad that he joined the Warriors after they knocked him out when they had a 3-1 lead on him, blah, blah, blah. But I think one of those things also is just with the new wave of NBA, new wave of generational players. Like, I grew up in the Kobe era, and like we both did, in those type of players where it's like every night they're coming out there to just like coming for your neck.
Right,
and that's like the
on
kind
both
of
ends of the floor.
Yeah, that's the kind of mentality I love, where it's like nobody's and stuff. But like these new dudes, as Bomani refers to them, they're different. Where it's, they play together on AAU teams, they play together in U.S. basketball, they hang out like after games and all that stuff, and so it's way more of like friendships among different players on different teams and stuff like that. So you don't really get that like intense hate, because even like the Warriors, you would think they hate LeBron and all that, but you see like they're off season are on each other's TV shows or whatever things they're doing. So it's one of those. They turn it on. It's just there's rivalry on the court, and then once they're off, they're all cool. Which that's the way it should be, in a sense of way. But at the same time, like I'm saying, I'm the type where I'm like, nah, screw you, dog. Like,
yeah.
As long as we on opposite teams, like, we ain't buddies.
And that's what's interesting, and I'm not sure if I think it is a lot friendlier than it was in the past, because again, like you talk about AAU, international play, guys like spend more time with each other than they ever have. And to me, that's what's so impressive about the 2008 Olympic basketball team, because if you look at that squad, you're like, yo, all these cats literally spend all year killing each other. Yeah. How in the world were they able to do what they did? Together and the Redeem team was insane.
They destroyed.
Yeah, you're like, these dudes, especially like, well, Kobe and Carmelo had respect for each other, but there's that. But like all the rest of them cats, they literally just spent all year killing each other. It was incredible to watch them. And then there's the Houston Rockets, which I'm not going to talk about them too much, because there's a game tonight, and I'm sure that I'll have stuff as far as this series to talk about, because we got Philly, Toronto going on. Kawhi's looking like an absolute monster right now. He's looking like a beast. Ben Simmons is bordering on the bust train right now. Yeah, bordering on it.
Oh yeah, I saw they lost. I was like bartending some event yesterday, so I didn't get to see any of the games or updates and stuff. But I looked this morning. God, y'all got beat by 36. Yeah. And I watched the game on Sunday, and I was watching that, and I've been tweeting about it. It's just like, yeah, Ben Simmons is a liability in the last 5 minutes of the game, because literally he's there to help you get rebounds. Yeah, he's there to help you get rebounds, and in the last everything he's getting is in the paint close to the rim, and in the last 5 minutes, refs are going to lay back on the whistle. They're going to let guys play a little. So you're getting beat up in there, and you're less inclined to try to drive in the paint. And when they got Marc Gasol in there, and then you also have a big man in Joel Embiid on your team also, who plays a lot in the paint, like, that's already clogged up. And so
I forgot they had Marc Gasol and Siakam, man.
Yeah, Siakam also. They got some trees down there. Yeah, exactly. 3 trees right there that typically play a lot in the late innings of the game. So dude's gonna have to develop a shot.
And it's crazy. It's not even that he can't shoot. It's that he won't shoot. Yeah. Like his cats will lay off Draymond because they're like, hey, there's a 70% chance he's gonna brick this thing, right? So that's good math. But then there's I know he won't shoot it. That's completely different.
It's different because I'll watch a Warriors game. You'll watch Warriors game and you'll see they'll kind of give and I think the other thing that's with Draymond that Ben Simmons has the same effect of is Draymond's a great passer. Yeah. So he'll like fake a pass and everyone drops off, but they're not quick to recover to like protect the shot. Yeah. And at that point he's all like, screw it, might as well. Yeah, might as well. But Ben Simmons, good God,
won't.
Just like
he will literally stand there and wait for somebody to get open.
Yeah, complete just nuts. Fear. It seems like
it's crazy.
And I wonder if it does, if part of it just plays with that kind of going back to that new dude mentality where these dudes are so sensitive, where it's like, he doesn't want to get roasted for how broke his shot is, and so he's just like, I'll save myself the trouble and not even bother with it.
Yeah,
that's like that's the quickest way to get yourself out of the league.
Put up some ugly shots, bro.
But yeah,
he shoots them.
But
he'll shoot them,
and
like,
he doesn't care because it's like, well, you know,
it's
they're
different.
giving it to
if
me.
If you're a defense and you know the dude like won't, it's like it opens up your entire defense because you literally don't have to pick up dudes. You can just guard the cut for anybody who's going from side to side.
Yeah.
Or wait for somebody to drive to the lane. And like that, bruh.
And I mean, like the other example I think of is like Andre Iguodala. He's, for the past few seasons, I mean, he hasn't really been great at that three. But like this season especially, he's been like shooting the three a lot better. And even like games 1 through 3, he had some big time. I mean, especially game 3, he had some big threes, a couple big threes he hit down later. And he was the same type of player where guys kind of laid off on him on the threes because he wasn't shooting all that well and stuff. But he's obviously a better shooter than Ben Simmons and all. But I think it's just one of those. It's like, okay, do you want to get better at shooting? Yeah. Because like, literally, it's
that's all. Like, literally, don't do anything else.
Literally,
all year
you're getting it's practice. It's basically you're getting free practice in real life games because these dudes are just like, go ahead, shoot it, we dare you. And so it's one of those things like, dog, stop being scary, bro. And I mean, there's the series is 3-2 now. It goes back to Philly. I'll be amazed if Philly somehow. I guess I won't be amazed. What I mean is, I wouldn't be surprised if Toronto wraps it up in this next game because they just look. They don't look the same. Joel Embiid doesn't look right. He's been dealing with a lot of injuries and stuff, and he's one of those where like he bothers me because he was one of those dudes that talks a lot and like he's a very extra player, and like I have nothing against dudes like that, but it's the same issue like I have with Cam Newton, where Cam Newton is exactly the same, and I'm like, bro, you really haven't done anything.
Yeah.
And even when you did do something like that season he won MVP, they went to the Super Bowl, it's like you shit the bed in the biggest game of the year,
right?
And the most defining. And so I think even with Joel Embiid is a lot less because like, dude, you've missed couple seasons because of injury. You're like, you've yet to play close to a full season because of injuries and stuff. And it's like, when you are healthy, you're dominating and stuff, but at the same time, it's like, pipe down the trolling and all that stuff because
like, and it's not like you're trash because that's different. When you're or not trash, when you're overrated and you talk mess, then we love to hate you. Yeah, this is why. And again, I think it's just. At some point, I'm gonna sit down and really like look at basketball and go, like, what in the world like is it? How is it that we've gotten to a place where a dude could average triple double for 2 years in a row or 3 years in a row? 3 years in a row.
Westbrook, 3 years. Yeah,
and you not really even be that important to your team that Christian. Like that's nuts to think that you
average a triple double 3 seasons in a row and you don't make it out the first round.
It's one thing to be overrated and talk trash because Russ did all that talking, did all the trolling, did all that stuff, and Dame literally waved goodbye to that team. Yeah, literally waved goodbye. It's another thing, and we cut you a little bit more slack with him. We cut Embiid a little bit more slack because he did he's a big dude, and being big has really worn on his body. That being said, yes. If you're gonna do all that talking, I don't care if it's injury. I don't care if
you better be able to back it up.
It doesn't matter. You gotta be able to back it up. And the frustrating part of it is when he's on the court, he does. Mm-hmm. Like he is one of the most skilled big dudes I've seen in a long time, especially for not having played that much NBA ball. Yeah. So I mean, I hope he stays healthy. He feels like one of those dudes that's just gonna fall into a contender's lap. Because they're talking about Philly potentially moving on from him sooner rather than later because of
From
injury
Embiid?
history stuff. From Embiid, yes. Because
I
of injury
doubt they
stuff.
will.
And I'm like, I'm not sure if that's the wise call.
I doubt. I think just with the whole process thing, and he's essentially the epitome of all. I think they'd move.
Philly would hate it. Like Philly would go nuts.
I think they would move from Simmons for, and
that would be the smartest play.
If they lose in this round, like, because Jimmy Butler's a free agent, right?
That's correct. This free agent.
This summer's it's gonna be stupid. July 1st.
Unrestricteds include in this order Kevin Durant, Kawhi, Klay Thompson, Jimmy Butler.
Just to name a few. That it's stupid. It's gonna be so dumb. Yeah. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Bro, this summer is gonna be wild. And I'm pretty sure DeMarcus Cousins, he's healing but not nearly from as bad as Achilles. They're actually saying he might play in the playoffs before he's done.
Yeah.
Before it's over. So hopefully need to get past these bums first. But yeah, DeMarcus Cousins. I think Kemba's name was in there. Unrestricted. This summer's gonna be insane. Lakers and Clippers, like LA, California basketball is about to be nuts.
No, I'm gonna be so hurt because I know Kawhi's going to the Clippers, and that's just gonna disgust me, dude.
Don't say that.
No, they might be the
best team in the West if he goes to the Clippers.
I know he's gonna do that because he has Kawhi does not fit the mold of playing with LeBron. Like, it makes no sense for him, especially after
he thrives with the ball in his hands.
It's not even that. It's just all the media and attention that comes with LeBron. He would not want that. He would not want that. So you get to play at home, but you don't have to deal with any of that, and it's in the same area. Yeah, why not go to it? Like, as much as I hate it, for a player like him, it makes sense. I would love. Kyrie is the other big name we forgot. Kyrie, and I mean, I'm pulling for either, like, in the order I want it. In the order I want it, I want Butler, Kyrie, or Kemba. And then also, I think the AD play is going to be interesting also because, like, the Celtics in themselves, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, don't look that good right now.
That team might get blown up.
Oh, they definitely will. And I think Kyrie's not coming back to them. And so, essentially, what they were going to trade for AD as long as Kyrie leaves. But so what happens once Kyrie leaves? Then are you still planning to trade for AD and you're getting rid of all those young talent? And at the same time, you're not guaranteeing that AD is going to stay or re-sign, because he still has a year left on his contract.
Right.
So you got that to deal with. But no, long way back to my original point of why I'm giving us sports was just the epitome of, like, I love watching the Warriors, and then as great as the Warriors are, and they epitomize everything we love about basketball and the way it should be played. On the other hand, you have the Houston Rockets, which they are everything that's wrong with basketball.
Not an exaggeration.
And, like, I'm so done with this series already because, like, I just feel the frustration.
So
literally,
tired.
Like, I was texting you the whole game and stuff, and I was just watching it because I was just like,
I can't.
Everything you're calling for Harden, who's, like, has 100 pounds on Curry and everything. Curry gets tossed. Curry is over here, goes in the lane, gets hit, gets punched and everything. James Harden gets some air blown on him.
Doesn't matter.
It's over. And, like, I was just feeling Curry's frustration the whole time. And even Klay, for as chill as Klay is, you could just see him, like, boiling. And it almost seemed like he was ready to swing on someone. Because there was just some calls. And that's the other thing that makes it so, which is watching with the commentating. Because, like, these, and good God, like, Reggie.
Yo, I can't.
Chill out. Bro. Chill out. Like, in the nicest way possible. They will clearly show. The parts where I was just like, okay, this is ridiculous. Where they'll show a replay and Reggie will like attest to the fact that James Harden pushed off, but he'll credit him.
Yeah.
James Harden with the crossover, with the little elbow push off, create space, and a beautiful jump shot.
Like,
When the hell was a push off?
Stiff armed that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I was reading something about how national media, we blame national media a lot, but commentators are the basically the first line of defense when it comes to pushing a narrative. And I was so fascinated by that because we complain about this all the time. We used to complain about Mark Jackson a lot. As a matter of fact, early on, we used to complain, why in the world are you putting Mark Jackson on every nationally televised Warriors game?
Yeah.
Like, early on, it just sounded like he was bitter. But it's so frustrating because I was like, man, the more I started watching games, like, the more I realized this is true. And when you go and you listen, you watch First Take or First Things First or, what's his name? I forget whatever dude's name is. But you watching or listening to all these shows, first line of defense is always the commentators and the color commentators. And it is crazy because it starts there because you'll see something.
Yeah.
And two different people might see two different things. But whatever the color commenter says, the casual fan or the super biased fan is just going to run with whether it be one way or another. Yeah. But Reggie's been driving, especially in that last game.
Reggie's been driving so bad.
There were a couple times they would show a foul replay. And before the player even swung at the ball, he was like, "Oh yeah, there's contact." I'm like, "Wait, what?
No."
I'm like, "Bro," and it's not like what they're watching is ahead of what we're watching. They're literally seeing what we're seeing in real time. So I'm fatigued, bro. I'm ready for this series to be over.
And that's just like legit. I know Game 5 is tonight, and I'm going to see a movie at like 7. What time is that game? Probably 10:30, right?
Right. They're back in Oakland. During the week. So 10:30.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Hold on. Fingers crossed. Prayers up. Here we go. 10 o'clock at the earliest, probably. Oh yeah. Sorry, 10:30.
Yeah, that's rough. But yeah, Game 5 today. I mean, Warriors lose this, it might be a wrap.
I think you lose this at home, and then you have to go back to Houston for an elimination game.
Yeah.
I would say this though, I wouldn't put it past the Warriors to, and I understand confidence, but
the one thing I'll say is I don't see them dropping 3 in a row. That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's the thing, and I think the home field advantage of it plays a big part because it's just like I know they went to the league after that game and was just like, okay, this is ridiculous. Like we can't do anything because that would be my frustration because it's one of it's one of those things you can't blame the refs and everything. And like they missed a bunch of threes, and the fact that they only lost by 4 points, just goes. I tweeted this after when they brought it within 2. I was like, you guys credit Houston all this, but like Houston's garbage, guys.
Yeah, they
dominated the whole game, and so many times they had opportunity to blow them out the game. They got the most they got was within 17-point lead, and they couldn't put them away. And you saw the thing.
They did the same thing in Game 7 last year.
You saw the thing that happened in every game they play in the series when it gets later and later. The Houston loses their leg. The threes start not to fall. And the Warriors just they stop getting foul calls because it's critical times in the games, and the refs are letting them play more, and quickly that lead just drains away, and that's what was happening. And you take Clay hits 2 threes of the 10 he missed, it's a wrap. Curry hits one more extra 3, it's a wrap. Yeah. KD and Curry had great looks on that last play to tie it, send it in overtime. If they would have sent that to overtime, it would have been over. It would have been a wrap.
And that's one of the many reasons I'm ready for this series to be over because it simultaneously highlights the lack of focus from the Warriors and also the depressing, overrated nature of Houston.
Yeah,
they're not that good. And I'll say this on top of that because I gotta give credit to this dude because he has single-handedly won the last 2 games for them. PJ Tucker is keeping them afloat.
PJ Tucker is giving them so many second chances.
He's getting offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
He is literally saving Chris Paul and James Harden's neck.
Yeah.
In the back half of those fourth quarters.
But PJ Tucker's not going to be able to do that for 3 more games.
No, well, he's going to have to.
He's going to have to, but
even when the shots start falling for James Harden, Chris Paul to me is a non-factor at this point.
Oh, no, not at all.
The only factor that he has on the game is to try to get a call. And it's amazing with Chris Paul. And I give James Harden a lot of crap because a part of his game is to seek the foul. I have never seen anybody try to get a foul, try to get a whistle on
every
like both sides of the court all the time.
And the thing with him that's just crazy is
rebounds.
So there was several plays where he would be dribbling, trying to get in the paint where he's guarded by Iguodala or whatever. And as he's like, the closer he gets into the paint and he can't create separation, you just see the immediate frustration, and he's just stiff arming the whole time. Stiff arming and whatever. He doesn't
like being touched.
He does it like it's one of those things that is just so frustrating. Which if I was, and I was so ready for KD to just swing on him, get ejected. I was just like, KD, just get kicked out of this game. I'm so okay with you getting kicked out of this game. And there was one play towards the end where like Chris Paul had like elbowed him or whatever, and KD tossed him to the ground, and then he kind of stood over him, and like Chris Paul was gonna get up at first, and then he kind of went back down and stumbled, and it was just one of those like it was such a reward. He just looked so little, and I'm just like,
you even saw in Game 3 when they had that jump ball.
Oh, he jumped 3 times. Yeah.
Well, that too. Oh God, I forgot about.
Yes.
That. I hate it.
Like, how does that at that point not become the Warriors' ball? It's like 3 times, dude pre-jumped, and then he ended up somewhat getting it because
in hockey they literally take you out of the face-off circle.
Yeah. At that point, it should just be like, okay,
but
dude.
It was when him and KD were like going after the ball, and KD ended up with the ball, and Chris Paul just slapped the ball out of his hands, and then Chris Paul tried to
immediately try to apologize.
Remember, KD was not having it.
Yeah,
at all.
Oh yeah, that's where it started. I remember seeing that because he did that, and then he immediately was like, "Oh no, I'm sorry" and stuff. It's like, no, that's not like you just tripped a dude or whatever. You knew what you were doing. Like Chris Paul's the biggest chump ever. Like
it's crazy what he's become at this point.
He's been like this forever. It's just that. Before he was doing it when he was with New Orleans, so no one was really paying attention to his game and all. But you really started to see it once he moved to the Clippers.
Oh my
Clippers, and it's just been continuing ever since he's been at Houston. And I like, as much as I hate David Stern for canceling that trade, I like the more I watch him play, and I'm just like, thank God he never came to the Lakers. Like, I'm slowly coming to terms with, like, I'm so glad he never ended up on the Lakers.
I'm not entirely sure. The more time that passes, I agree with you. Because Kobe barely made it through a season with Dwight. Barely. He was hurt for a good portion of that season, too, I'm pretty sure. But, Chris Paul, Dwight Howard, and Kobe Bryant, man. Now that we know what we know about those players as players, just in person, that has been interesting.
That would have been hell.
that'd have been rough. That'd have been rough. But yeah, I'm ready for this series to be over. It's crazy because I always forget that Portland and Denver is a thing.
Yeah.
I've been forgetting this.
Yeah, it's weird. It seems like whoever wins this is just going to the finals.
It's like the same. I forget that that's happening.
It'll be interesting. And yeah, I'm just saying I'm ready to be done with Houston as it is.
Yeah, the optimist in me expects the Warriors to blow these cats out.
Yeah.
But they need to respect them in order to do that. And the problem is it's super hard to respect a team like the Rockets. Because all they see is cats who are trying to get whistles. That's all they see.
It's not even a matter of respecting them. It's just the thing in that the last game, the Rockets just came out and punked them.
Yeah.
And that's one of those because the Warriors easily can the thing with the Houston that they have working for them, they have a bunch of thick guys that like beat them up and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like what Warriors need to do is just be able to play on the fast break, playing at a fast pace, and like really get those dudes running. Because they get tired come
really
fourth quarter and stuff.
Is not that great.
Yeah. And they were talking about how James Harden's in better shape and stuff. Nah, the last 5 minutes of that game, he was missing like crucial threes, stuff like that. It's like nah.
Yeah, that's when he really starts jumping forward on them shots because he doesn't want to.
And like we are like a couple periods away or a couple quarters away from just your vintage Chris Paul injury or something. Like you just feel it coming. I'm not putting that on him.
No.
But it seems like that's coming soon. Where it's like
it's a tie series.
Yeah.
3-2 game.
Yeah.
In Oakland. I can see it now. All the Houston fans are like, oh.
Yeah. All this. Blah, blah.
Again, I don't wish an injury on anybody, but this is a rough series, and it does not cater. Like that's the thing. It caters
because right
to
now
else.
you got Steph, who's the past 3 years or whatever is always dealing with injuries in the playoffs. Yeah. He's dealing with a bad ankle. Clay's dealing with a bad ankle. So it's like the Warriors are suffering with it and stuff, and so it's only a matter of time, especially with someone as injury prone as Chris. Like is gonna catch up to him.
This is how I know the basketball world still shook. Did you hear about the rumors of Klay Thompson being ready to leave and he's tired of getting the scraps?
Yeah.
I'm like, first of all, we've heard from his own mouth how he feels. Not to say that it can't change in a couple of weeks, but this is how I know the basketball world ready for this series to be over. Whoever wins, because all the stuff like KD rumors start flowing, especially when he starts playing well. When the Warriors start playing well, another KD rumor will leak.
The other thing that was like mad annoying was because like the whole New York Knicks thing. There was a fan that was sitting like right by the camera or whatever and kept cheering New York Knicks and New York Knicks. And Reggie was like feeding into that and is like, bro, can you like you're supposed to be unbiased.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be unbiased. Like
if you are, we're not even
and you can acknowledge it
yeah.
once, but he was acknowledging it like a couple times and he was like throwing jab and he was like, hey people, it's just like for your job, bro.
Reggie always been a Splash Brother hater because he not even in the top 4 shooters all time anymore. So
yeah,
it's fine.
It's whatever.
It's okay.
Yeah, I think they'll come out today and bust their ass. And,
yeah, I hope so.
And I expect a big game from Klay. I hope he comes out and just lets it rain because once like Klay's especially once Klay's going, they almost certainly
pissed too. He's pissed.
When he's pissed and he's going, like they almost 99% are gonna win because it's just when their third best player's got it going and he's hot. Like okay, you can't account for that because then you're leaving Steph or KD open.
Right.
It's just you're screwed at that point. I'll say this: if they had DeMarcus Cousins, it'd have been a wrap.
Yeah, it was
and
weird.
this is the one of those because I think like DeMarcus Cousins is the most goon of all, and so all this punking and stuff like you're not gonna get that. You're not getting none of that with
DeMarcus would have gotten ejected out of one of these games.
No, he would have been.
I would have literally put money.
He would have been gone, especially Game 4. Game 4, he would have been gone. He would have done KD's dirty work for him. He would have done KD's. Yeah, he would have done KD's dirty work for him.
He don't deal with BS with the refs and stuff. We would have lost. DeMarcus would have been kicked out of at least one of these games already, bro.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So hopefully he gets healthy and they can have him back in the semifinal or like the finals or even final. If they move it on.
I hope so.
I think,
because the semis, the Western Conference semis would be a good opportunity to get healthy.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest. If the Warriors, especially if is it 2-2?
It's 3-2 Denver.
Okay.
Denver won yesterday, I believe.
I'm hoping let's get that Portland dub, please. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Houston is smacking whoever's next. Golden State Warriors for real smacking
whoever's next. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what happens if he has the opportunity like that, and that's the crazy part because Steve Kerr is generally like he's pessimistic, like he's real conservative when it comes to injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the fact that stuff's been coming out that he like, and even Kerr has said that he could play in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they're even thinking about getting him out there less than 100% healthy is kind of crazy, and I don't know if it means that they're looking at having to potentially play Toronto or Milwaukee or whatever it is. But I do think it's interesting because I saw him running today. He's favoring it still a little.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, but yeah, NBA Wild. We'll see what happens.
Also, let's just take a second. Dude tore his quad. You know how much that hurts?
Did you see it when he was coming off the court?
I didn't.
When it happened, it was nasty, bro. This dude had this big old knot, like 8 inches above his knee.
Like,
this big old just.
I've pulled my quad before, and that hurts. I just can't imagine, like, because it's such a huge muscle, just tearing that. That takes so long for it to. Oh my god!
This man was doing lunges today.
Oh my god!
And I'm like, bro, you're a animal. I don't know.
And
what
that's
your
one of those
like, but you're an animal, bro.
You gotta every step you take and everything's just gotta be careful because one tweak, like, you're oh my god, it's awful.
That's why I was mind blown. Of just like, hey, obviously,
the fact that
the recovery is not as long as like an Achilles or anything like that, but it's still nuts. So
for such a big muscle.
Yeah, and he's a big dude. He's like 275, 280 pounds. So wild stuff. When's that Canes Boston game, bro?
The series starts tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Yeah. So
shoot.
I mean, look, Canes will have had about 6 days of rest, which I think typically I'm like, that's too long or whatever. But I don't think it was as long as what Islanders had when they came into. I think 6 days is a good.
Well, for them it's good because
it's good. Hurt. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. For them, it was good because they were hurt and they had played just like a ton of games, ton of minutes in such a few amount of days, and so to play all that and then kind of just be able to rest up and whatever, and like
7 and then 4, what I thought was like ideal for them, especially with the players that they lost, and be more positive than negative. Obviously, well, I don't say obviously. I think it'll be more positive than negative because they've got guys that need to heal. Yeah. By the time there's a chance they get TVR, I think probably won't start the series. But there's a chance that they have everybody else back.
Oh no, Trevor's done for the season.
Are they done?
He's shoulder surgery.
That sucks.
So yeah, Furland and Peter are pretty much back. I'm pretty sure. They might start McElhaney for this first one just to because he's been playing well.
I would rather go from McElhaney to Mrazek. Than Mrazek to McElhaney in the series.
Yeah,
for
just
sure.
Kind of at least ride this first one out with McElhaney, go from there. But I mean, it's the same thing. If they can pull one from this first 2 away games,
they can win one at Boston. Anything goes, man.
It's free reign.
It's anything
and
goes.
Boston's dealing with a lot of injuries themselves, so like this thing's wide open right now. And I think just the way they're playing, and it's one of those things because going back to my Barcelona point.
So well against Columbus.
Yeah, exactly, and it just goes back to my Barcelona thing earlier, which was so frustrating about watching that soccer game because it was just like. It was no effort at any point, and it was just terrible mistakes. And it's one of those things to me. I'm just like, is it one of those things like you're so good you just have to, and it's hard to understand how you could have a collapse that bad when you just had one a season ago, and it was a lot of the players from last season are the same players. So it's like you guys all have suffered it together and all, and like. Just it might be I don't know, you might be in it for the money or whatever, but like that to me like would bother me for a really long time. And it really sucks mainly for Messi because like his whole point this season was just winning Champions League, and this is something that's just gonna hurt his legacy because time after time he's just always manages to lose those big games that matter in those big moments. And a lot of times it's not his fault because it's just like only someone like him, like as great as he is, he could only do so much because a lot of times they'll put like 4 players on him. And so that's like, all right, they're surrounding him like a swarm. Like some of y'all need to step up. Somebody needs to step up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so full point around. I'm giving up sports. Say that now, but I'll probably end up watching the Warriors game tonight up until it starts BSing again, and I'm just gonna turn it off. And
I usually, was funny, I'll watch the first quarter.
Away.
I'll usually turn it off until about halfway through the third, and that's when I'll start watching it. So, and
third,
I only really
honestly,
do that with Houston because I can only take them watching them play for so long,
dude.
Like I just can't.
Yeah, that like
it's so
honestly, and I probably need to do the same where start watching it from the third, because the Warriors, like the third period's the Warriors period every time. They win that period out, and they just, because that's when they come out of the locker room and just kind of readjustments are made, and they're all right, let's get serious about this and knock it out. But yeah, it's honestly just one of those where it's like, dude, I cannot stand watching Houston. I can't.
I'm too invested. Is because when Houston was on TV, I'd watch like 2 minutes, and I was like, all right, forget this. It's trash.
And I know, like the NBA wants a good series out of this, but the NBA, it's not good for the NBA for Houston to move on.
No.
Like,
well, what's interesting about this series, and we even talked about this last week, is there is this weird this weird tear in like NBA fandom, because on the one hand you have the people who are like, oh my gosh, the Warriors are bleeding. This could be the end of the era.
Of the dynasty,
End of the dynasty, and there's like excitement, which I understand.
It's fair, yeah.
Like they've been smacking your teams for 5 years straight. Like
you're ready for it to be done.
Yeah, I get it. But then on the other hand, people who like will sit there and like watch the games, they're like, yo, these cats is dirty as heck, bro. Like these cats are dirty, and this is borderline cheating.
Yeah,
it's more like obnoxious. Like Chris Paul, Rivers, Harden. You're just like, these dudes are just obnoxious. Like, do I really want these dudes to win? And it's weird to watch like Twitter. And,
that's one of those like, it's almost the politics side of sports where the product you're watching is so bad, but you're just so done.
Yeah, exactly.
With like the other team because they're winning so much, you're just like, you're gonna feed yourself whatever lies.
I've said this forever. Sports expose people, and if there's one good thing that has come out of this series, is that especially Twitter folk have exposed themselves because
the fact that people
choose between two evils in their eyes. Basically,
the fact that like it goes back to when we talked to Corey, and he was defending James Harden. I'm like, Corey, I know you of all people are not defending this dude. Stop.
He's just ready for the Warriors to be
done.
Yeah,
it's like you're a LeBron
stan.
stan. I know, like you're ready for them to be done, but I know you don't believe that James Harden and what he's doing is good for basketball. Oh, he's a great player.
Nah,
and I'm not even.
He said, "Just stop fouling him." Like, hey, nobody fouled him, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody's fouled him.
It's just the most absurd, and I think, honestly, the NBA needs to do something about it. Like, because it's the equivalent of when KD used to do the hand swipe thing.
Yeah.
They talked about that the next off season, and basically they stopped calling that, or if they did call it, it wasn't a shooting foul immediately.
Right.
And so it's like, bro, this whole James Harden shooting and kicking his leg out, like, bro.
Yeah, so what they've said already, and this is what makes it so interesting, because it's not something that they're going to change in the off season.
Yeah.
They've actually said straight up in either the L2M reports or whatever, they've said straight up. You remember back in game 1, when they said he jumped forward, no foul on Draymond Green. The problem is the rule is already in place. You're supposed to allow the shooter to land.
Yeah.
However, if you jump forward or extend, you're probably not going to get the call. The problem is refs have no idea what to do with it.
Yeah.
They don't call it consistently, which will frustrate James Harden, but also on the other
frustrate
end,
the Warriors.
Frustrate the Warriors because, like, bro, I'm like Clay. That's why when we talk about Clay being frustrated, like, it doesn't quite get him out of his game, but you can tell he was about to go nuts in the last game because he's probably the most disciplined defender on the team. But he knows, like, and this was the thing about Reggie Miller that I almost lost my mind on. So Klay Thompson comes in on a closeout, gets a foul call. James Harden goes to the line for 3 free throws. They show the replay, and Reggie Miller, I kid you not, says you have to contest going away.
Oh yeah,
I was like,
he said you have to contest, but you also have to let him land. It's like
he literally said the words,
and
going
you see
away,
it.
and I was like, wait a minute, you can't close out and move away. That's literally two opposite there. You can't do that unless you're on the left side of the player and you run to the right,
and
which
it's
is
almost,
not a closeout.
And it's almost the logic of like
ridiculous.
What the NBA has to do to counter it is like it needs to be an offensive foul, essentially.
So
if
it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So
they
okay.
don't call it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be.
Essentially, if it's like you got to give the shooter a space to land,
yeah.
you got to give the defender because it's just as dangerous for the defender.
That's correct.
Where you're coming over here, you're kicking him, you're taking his legs out, he lands awkwardly, that's his ankle, it's gone.
The last 2-minute report for the last game said that James Harden should have been called for an offensive foul when he hit Draymond Green. It was funny because Draymond Green came up on stage and followed up and said, I told y'all, I've been fouled on James Harden threes before. So it's all there. That's what's so tricky. It's not like with the swipe through, they're going to go, okay, we're going to. And it's weird because they have kind of made changes already, like live in game. But they're going to go, all right, we're going to, look at that in the offseason, try to make changes to the official rule. All the proper structure's already in place.
Yeah.
The refs have just been so bad at enforcing it.
And the thing,
so bad.
Well, the thing that's annoying about it is people is just like, and even Reggie was saying it, where he's like, well, James Harden has just found a loophole to the game or whatever. It's like, okay, cool. He's found a loophole. So what are you going to do once other players start doing that?
Yeah.
And the thing I love about it, Curry was testing it that game 4, where he was doing the same thing, and he wasn't even testing it. It was just, it was literally James Harden would come down, get a call, Curry would come down, same thing would happen, nothing.
Yeah,
nothing.
Now, wasn't this Curry's not practiced, and I think that's what, if there is a little bit of time before it catches on the NBA, it will be because NBA players hate doing it.
Yeah.
Most of them. Yeah. James Harden just has no shame. Chris Paul's been doing it forever, but James Harden just has no shame. And
that's the thing for me. It's like
everybody else is like,
it's just like it's like,
why would I want to do that?
I don't think I'm a good enough basketball player to play straight up, so I got to do all this dirty, cheap little tactics, and that's the idea of don't foul him down. Okay, bro. You play ball a lot, Corey. Put yourself in that situation.
Corey back on the pod.
No, yeah. Shoot.
When the series is over. When the series is over, we get him back on.
Recap and all that. Nah, dude. It makes no sense whatsoever. Yeah, I'm just so done with them, dude. God.
I'm at the point now. I watched them win 3 and 4 years. They went to 4 straight finals, bro. It's like kind of like the San Francisco Giants. It's not that I don't want them to be good or that I'm okay with them being bad. If they lose, I'm what slander? What slander are you gonna bring on the Warriors that's actually gonna carry any weight? We went through
people
3-1 jokes.
Yeah.
For way too long, for like 2 years. People still
went through 3-1 jokes, and then they beat them 3-1 in finals. Yeah. It's like, shut up.
Y'all got smoked.
Shut up.
We went through 3-1 jokes. There is literally nothing that could come after this season that would whatever. So I'm ready for this series to be done. If the Warriors win, great. If they lose, Giannis 2021. So, or Embiid 2021. Let's go. Gosh. Sports world. A lot happening, a lot going on at once. There's even a Game 7 in hockey tonight. I'm stressed out about that one. Colorado, San Jose, in San Jose.
Is it Game 7?
Game 7, bro. Colorado won in overtime last game. This series has been very, very good. Goalies have been good. I'm still waiting for the San Jose Stars to show up, but that's another sport where I completely forget who the other Western Conference matchup is. It's like St. Louis and Dallas or some crap like that. So, anyway, go Canes, go Sharks, go Warriors, and then whoever else survives out in the Eastern Conference in the NBA, whatever. Whatever.
Nah, we'll see. So I told you I've been watching Parenthood.
Right.
Dog, They should just show parenthood at schools as the most effective birth control possible. Good God, bro. I become way too invested in this show. And it's just like, dog, why would you ever want to have a family just off this show alone? Or like you're watching all this stuff and it's just like,
I'm stressed.
This is so stressful. What?
I'm stressed.
Oh my God, bro. It is just everything. And they deal, because it's essentially what the main, like the grandparents.
Yeah.
And you got one family on the sister side who's living at home. You got one family on the brother side who has the son with he's not autistic. He has what is it?
The Asperger's?
Asperger's. He has Asperger's. And then you have the third son who's got a baby mama.
Right.
Who's got the light-skinned boy, Devan.
Yeah.
And,
God,
oh, my God.
That show, bro.
What's her name? Freaking, let me, give me a second.
Which one? There's a few.
The mixed
mixed
beauty. Joy Bryan. Good Lord. She's beautiful, bro. And like their relationship, her and Crosby's. I'm in season 3 right now, and basically what's happened so far, Crosby. They. Season 1, Crosby finds out he has a child with Jasmine.
Right.
He starts like building a relationship with Jabbar, and then him and Jasmine.
God, she named the kid Jabbar. Let's go. I forgot.
Crosby and Jasmine start developing a relationship,
yeah,
and it looks like they're gonna get together, and like, you know, it seemed like it was gonna go full circle where they had this fling some 5-6 years ago that a kid emerged out of that Crosby's meeting, who's now like 5'6", like, and so the kid gets to meet his dad, and they tie in the emotional side where Jasmine never had her dad in her life, and so she wanted to make sure Jabbar had his dad in his life. Seems like they're gonna get together, and then they get in an argument. Crosby messes up, and Crosby hooks up with, oh my God, freaking girl from the Ultimate Homewrecker. Where is she?
Oh.
From Friday Night Lights. Let me find.
Oh yeah. Oh
God.
my God.
Why am I
you
blanking?
Talking about Lila Garrity?
Yes. Ultimate. As soon as I seen her show up in the show,
oh
I was
God.
like, she's gonna ruin something. Oh God, Lila.
Oh, what's her name? Derek Jeter used to date her.
He did?
That. Yes. Yeah. Well, I will say this. Derek Jeter.
Minka Kelly.
Yeah,
Minka Kelly. Minka. God, you're beautiful, but you're the worst.
But we know that if you get casted,
you're just gonna you're gonna ruin things. Like I remember in Friday Night Lights, I loved her, and then it quickly just turned into fully hating her, and it was interesting because like from the beginning you love her, and from the beginning you hate Tyra. And then it just completely flops. And the same with Tim Riggins, where it's like at the beginning you hate him, and then by the end you love him, and you know some of the other players is opposite. But good God, Minka, like you're the worst.
We ragging on you from a show you were in from like 4 or 5 years ago.
And you're that's all. And I don't. Let's see. I'm looking up her IMDb right now because I don't know. The only things I've seen her in are Friday Night Lights and now Parenthood.
Yeah.
I
watched Almost Human for a second there. Had one season, but she was in that real quick. But no, those are the only two things I really. that she's really in.
Yeah, so she's not in anything really big right now or as of recent.
How is she almost 40? What?
That's wild.
She's born 1980. Cry.
Dang. That's crazy. Yeah, that is. But I mean, I guess she is. What? When was Friday Night Lights airing?
I remember that. That was the joke because even when Friday Night Lights was on.
Oh, all those dudes were like not high school.
And I'm pretty sure she was like the oldest out of all of them.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, well, she was like already 28 at the time.
Gosh. Yeah. Nah, she's still beautiful, but she's still the worst. And it's casted perfectly because she just has the face of like, you see it and you're like, I'm about to ruin my life.
Yeah, somebody's relationship about to. Oh, she's in Titans.
The Titans?
Mm-hmm. Which I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I was like, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
She's in 3 episodes of Jane the Virgin a couple years ago. But yeah,
gotcha.
no, man, yeah, nothing.
No, yeah. So she just came into Parenthood, ruined things up.
If she walks in through the door, somebody's relationship getting messed up.
Dude, and I was like, so ever since she like her and Crosby hooked up, and then Crosby comes clean to Jasmine, and Jasmine's kind of like just done with him, and the whole time Crosby's like been working hard trying to get back with her, and I've been like cheering hard for him, and it all just goes back. I'm like, dang it, Minka, you home wrecker. Way to ruin it.
But then also though, Cross is a complete dingus.
Oh, he's so stupid. He's so stupid, but it's relatable.
Yeah, it is.
It's like it's one of those. It's just like he's kind of
on the fly. His name. I love that actor because.
Dax Shepard.
Yes.
No, it's perfect.
He plays like shocked, dumb,
so well. Oh, it's so well.
Like, what did I get myself into?
Yeah.
Panic, dumb,
or just like the.
Oh my god, so perfect.
He's just the epitome of like dude that needs to grow up. And it's just like some stuff doesn't comprehend. Because there's like a lot of times where him and Jasmine will be talking and she's just like, hey, we need to discipline him more. And you can't be the fun dad all the time. And he's legitimately confused on why he can be. He's like, well, why not? Yeah. It's just like, bruh, because you have a responsibility to be the father of this kid. And anything that happens falls back on it.
I need to watch his new show.
What's his new show?
It's called Bless This Mess.
What's it on?
And it's got 82 on Rotten Tomatoes. IMDb's not too kind. 82 on Rotten Tomatoes. Newlyweds, Rio and Mike. I'm trying to see. ABC, it looks like. Yeah, ABC. Newlyweds, Rio and Mike make the decision to change the course of their life together and move from the relentless pace of big city New York to what they think will be a more relaxed existence in rural Nebraska.
Oh, I forgot he was in Chips. Chips was so funny.
Yeah.
Chips was so funny. Yeah. Him and Michael Pena. Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Chips was hilarious.
Yeah, bro, I love Dax Shepard. I can't believe, talk about just a comedic power couple. Him and Kristen Bell are married. Like that.
Oh.
Yeah, that to me is so wild.
Oh, yeah.
For like 6 years.
What?
Yeah, him and Kristen Bell.
That's,
been
you know what?
For a minute.
Props to you, Dax.
Yeah.
Props to you.
But no, Parenthood, bro. Yeah, Parenthood, mad emotional and mad stressful.
Yeah, I'm fully invested now, so I gotta finish it through. But at the same time, I'm like, this is too much, bro. Y'all just making me not want to ever.
So are you watching life. This Is Us?
No,
I haven't watched any of it, and that's what I feel like when people talk about it. I'm like, oh yeah, this is like the new age Parenthood, basically.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Like some. I won't watch This Is Us just because I've heard they're very, like you said, it's the new age of parenthood.
Yeah.
But I think they deal with like all the social stuff that's going on now, and so I feel like they it's one of those like we talked about with like since everything is going on, you're gonna feed into it just because people pay attention into it, and I don't like it in that sense because I'm just like. nah, this doesn't feel natural to me. It feels like a quick gimmick.
Yeah.
And from all the like reviews I've heard from people like I actually like care about their opinion on stuff like that, they're like, yeah, it just seems a little cheesy or a little mush and all.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like,
That's why. Well, I haven't been in a rush to watch it because I think they're already 3 seasons in.
Yeah.
Something like that. Haven't been in a rush. I know there have been chunks of it that have been really good TV, but again, like after watching Parenthood, stuff like that, where I'm like, bruh, that junk is just so straight. You get so invested.
Yeah. Oh
my gosh, I just be so.
It's a wrap.
So stressed out.
It's so done. Yeah. So.
I don't know if you had anything else. I have one more thing, and I actually just remembered it. I forgot to write it down. So they waited 9 days after 10 days, I guess 9 days, 10 days after Endgame was released in theaters to release the latest Spider-Man Homecoming trailer. That has some, like, I watched that trailer and I had mixed emotions about it because like, yo, this is really dope and this movie's about to be dope. But also I was like, I kind of wish you would have held this a little bit closer to y'all's vest until closer to July.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. There were some questions after Endgame. If you haven't watched Endgame, it's too late.
Yeah.
We already talked about it some in the last podcast. At this point, it's too bad. So there are some questions after Endgame. People were like, "Oh shoot! Well, did some of the stuff that they do during this movie kind of like mess up the multiverse? Yada yada yada."
I'm sorry. God, I just came up on this article. That
I love it.
I was just scrolling through
when this happens,
and it's from Daryl Morey, who's a GM.
Yep.
Of Houston.
Yes.
And the tweet goes, "My guy PJ Tucker crushing it with this Players Tribune article." And the quote he uses, "You want to know why James Harden gets so many whistles? Because he gets fouled a lot." There you go. Mystery solved.
Probably, bro. I've said this over and over again. You heard me say this before. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. It is. No, I want to say the word depressing. I don't want to overuse that word. It is so discouraging to see how prevalent the use of propaganda is in sports. Like actual, real, outright lies to push a narrative. Everybody knows that's not true. But because PJ Tucker said it, people will say that is true. Like we know, like people who are willing to be honest, they know that's not true. We watch it. He's not getting fouled. But there's more people not watching than watching. So all the people that aren't watching will go, "Oh, he's getting fouled." Because I read that thing in the Players Tribune that PJ Tucker wrote. Oh, I freaking hate that stuff. That just. Anyway. If you haven't watched the trailer for Spider-Man Homecoming, watch it. God, Daryl Morey. First the reports, and now that. Come on, bro. You're
so
smart.
comical.
I know Daryl Morey's
so
smart. Daryl Morey's a
comical.
genius, bro.
It's so comical. And the thing,
but don't be a liar.
The thing that's so funny about it also, it's like people have been given their coach, what's ugly bum name? Mike D'Antoni.
He's an ugly bum.
The thing that bothers me with Mike D'Antoni is he has the same expression on the sideline where it just everything is just throw his hands up with the confused look of like, I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but I feel like we just got done wrong. And that's their whole demeanor, their whole team. I just hate the Rockets so much. Their whole demeanor is just like, we've been done wrong.
He cracks me up because he talks to the refs like somebody who got his food at a restaurant cold.
Yes. He's can I speak to the manager of coaches? He is the epitome of can I speak to the manager? Just everything.
But that's the whole organization, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It starts from Daryl Morey and trickles down.
Bro, that's when I quote tweet. When you upload this, you tweet this, that's the quote that I'm putting in there.
Ah, that's gonna be the title.
Organization is the "Can I please see the manager?"
Yeah. Houston Rockets. The "Can I please see the manager of the NBA?" God, man. We're done. We're done talking about it. Last thing, I saw this thing on Twitter. It's kind of cool. Chadwick Boseman is gonna be starring in a new samurai movie, and at first you're like, whoa, samurai and stuff. But it's basically, he's going to be playing Yasuki. I believe that's pronounced correctly. Yasuki, the first African and non-Asian origin to become a samurai in Japan. And this is a little tweet I had taken a screenshot.
Story?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I got some reading to do because
yeah.
this already.
So this goes from at the Janelle MJ. She tweeted, "Whoa, this is amazing! Excited to see this as a movie because the story is fascinating." Before any of the historical race realist people I see on Reddit start going in on mentions about black samurai, Yasuki was a real person and served Ode Nobunaga.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then some other stuff is like slavers. So, info on the real life of Yasuke. Slavers took him and sent him to India to serve the Portuguese. He ended up in Japan as indentured bodyguard to missionary Alessandro Veliano, and then he was given to warlord Oda Nobunaga, who awarded him prestigious status of samurai. That sounds like a dope movie.
Oh yeah, I'm reading about
that.
Right,
sounds pretty freaking dope, and I love because at first when I saw it, my reaction was like, bro, we just gave Tom Cruise crap for being a samurai with his white ass. And I was like, how are we about to swing this? Well, I'm all for black movement and stuff. But then immediately it was just like, nah, this is based on a true story.
The first black man to set foot in Japan.
Yeah. And I think with something like this, it's like it's a black man playing samurai. Where other movies get it wrong, it's like they're going to actually cast like the right ethnicity for the other roles. So you're going to have actual Japanese people playing the other samurais and, you know, like in the other setting and all that. Yeah. And it's not just going to be like, did Tom Cruise did?
Yes.
What was the recent one that,
it's called The Last Samurai, which is what.
No, what was the, like, there was another white actor that had a bad one. Was it Matt Damon? Matt Damon. The Great Wall. Oh, yeah.
I was waiting for you to get to it.
The Great Wall. Yeah. Good Lord, who thought that was a good idea?
That came and went, didn't it?
That came 2 years. That was maybe last year.
The most forgotten movie in the last 5 years.
Yes.
Like easily. And like forgotten, when I say forgotten, because a lot of movies go forgotten. A lot of that is probably the most forgotten big budget film.
Oh, yeah.
Last 5. Just completely and utterly
I'm pretty sure I was. No.
That's
that was
great.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it was good or bad. Like that's the best part. That's how forgotten it is. I don't even know.
No, it immediately got dragged as soon as it came out. It got a 36 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes.
We're just gonna go ahead and read some of the reviews from Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh yeah.
Just
hit us with it.
Just for
ruthless Rotten Tomatoes reviews.
Yeah. Zhang's. Oh, here's the first one. From Christopher Orr, The Atlantic. Zhang's moment of visual splendor, a batalon of hot air balloonists, the queen monster and her royal guard of fan-filled monsters. Okay, bro, you got all right. Use baby language. Come on.
You're doing too much. He paid for his membership.
Here's some good ones. This is from James B. We just gonna keep it at that. If this is the future for motion pictures, God help us all. That's great.
God, bro, that's so extreme.
God help us all.
No, we're good.
That's a movie. Like, that's a movie review right there. Someone else reviewed Where Are the Dragons. Dan Merle. As uninspired and flat as a lot of the CGI action movies that are produced right here in the United States.
Yikes.
Despite some impressive set pieces, solid effects work, and some good performances, the Great Wall too often seems to crumble under its own weight. Damon seems to understand just how absurd and misguided the film's plot is, and acts accordingly as a man taking a large paycheck to sell his star power. The Great Wall is about as literal to the white savior trope as you can get. We'll leave it there.
Well, the trailer came out and everybody said the same thing. They're like,
how you gonna have a...
We actually have a lot of really, really, really good Chinese and Chinese American actors. This isn't difficult.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like you see with Aladdin coming out now. Like, Disney went way, like, above and beyond to make sure they cast people of the right ethnicity for that was an animated adaptation of a movie.
That's right.
And they went above and beyond to make sure, hey, we cast the right people that fit the right, ethnicity, skin tone for this role. But yeah, I don't even know how we got to talking about the Great Wall. But how did
Chadwick Boseman?
Oh, Chadwick Boseman. Back to that point. Yeah, I'm excited for that movie. That should be super dope.
We're gonna get all the black anime fans in there too.
Boy,
there's such a wide audience. I feel like this movie goes for.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
So great.
No, that's sick.
Rotten Tomatoes. I got one movie suggestion. Well, I can't really give a don't go to this because I haven't gone to see a movie in theaters that I haven't liked in a while. I feel like if there's a chance I don't like it, I probably won't even bother go to the movies in the theaters. But I have one movie suggestion. I did finally go see the Long Shot with Charlize Theron and Seth Rogen. Freaking hilarious. Go see it.
I'm actually seeing it tonight.
Dope.
Dope.
Bruh,
when you started, I was like, damn, am I going to have to ask for a refund real quick? Because I heard it was good. But the way you were building up, I was like...
Legit. No, what I said was I was going to give it, hey, don't go to this.
Yeah.
But I was thinking of a movie I've seen recently in theaters. I liked them all. So, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, no spoilers. It's good. Go do it. I actually think Charlize Theron actually outperformed Seth Rogen, which is wild in the comedy genre.
Yeah.
She has proven... I think she's proven it before, but for me personally, and because I haven't seen her much, she's proven with this movie for me that she can cross over to any genre she wants.
Yeah.
Because like the last thing that I remember that stood out to me, she was in Atomic Blonde. Never saw it. Don't know what the reviews were. She was fantastic in Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
Fantastic as Furiosa in that.
Oh, movie. I forgot. Atomic Blonde was one that came and went also.
Yeah, that was another one that's just kind of in and out.
Yeah. I mean, the trailer looked dope. I'm going to have to go back and like.
Yeah,
I might have to just give it a watch.
I don't even know what like reviews and stuff were like. Again, it's probably, you can probably, shoot, it might even be on Netflix. I have no idea. Yeah, Long Shot, solid.
It had a 78 on Rotten Tomatoes. Not too bad.
I might have to watch it then. Because she's legit. She's legit, and she's legit. one of the best scenes in a comedy that I can remember, like recently, is in this movie.
Oh, really?
Great, yes.
I'm excited. And O'Shea Jackson Jr.'s in it.
You'll love his
which
character.
I love.
You'll love his character.
I love O'Shea, and like he has a great interview on Breakfast Club where he was just kind of talking about, picking and choosing his roles he wants to, because it's like ever since doing Bad Boys, it's just like, or Boys in the, no, not even.
I feel like we do need a remake of that.
Boys in the Hood?
I mean, not a remake. I don't want to say it because Boys in the Hood was
such a
changed a lot. Yeah, that changed a lot for.
But like a modern adaptation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be straight out of Compton. Straight out of Compton. And he was just talking about how like he doesn't want to be, and a lot of black actors I think suffer from this, where it's just like, oh yeah, you're the tough black guy, so we're gonna cast you in that. It's like, nah,
or you did something funny, so you're gonna be a funny guy.
Yeah, and it's one of the, because he was talking about like with his dad, Ice Cube. It's like everybody fears my dad. Everyone's intimidated by him, and he plays that role of like intimidation so well, and so that's what he mainly gets casted from. He's just like, yeah. God, Ice Cube in all of them. No, he's in all three, and he's so funny in each. Yeah. Oh yeah.
What did I miss,
bro?
I missed. I missed that. I've seen the first two.
Bro, the third one's pretty funny. The third one is hilarious.
What's the third one called? Is it 23 Jump Street?
I forgot.
What's it called?
I forgot.
I've seen the first two for sure. One of the most unexpectedly hilarious combos, bro. Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill.
Oh, they were so good.
So funny.
They were so good. Let me look up what the third one. So there was 22 Jump Street.
21, 22, and then what came after that?
I think it was like a 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street. I swear there was a third one.
I'll say because I missed that.
Or was I thinking of the second one? I might have been thinking of this.
Maybe.
Oh, is that where they go on spring break?
22 Jump Street.
Yeah, they're in college. Yeah.
In the second one, they're in college.
Yeah. Okay, I was thinking of the second one.
I'm about to look up sequel anyway. You got to give us one more.
I think what threw me off was at the end of the second one, they did like this, like the little trailers for like 23, 24, 25 with different adaptations. They did one where it was like a GTA version. It was that the ending of it was pretty funny because they went through like 26 like they went through all these different adaptations of it and stuff. So I think that's what was throwing me off. But yeah, Ice Cube in that was hilarious. No, I'm excited for it. Long shot. It had a bunch of good reviews, and I love Seth Rogen. And I think with comedians like him, it's cool seeing their growth in like just acting and the different, because like early on, you know him through like just the ridiculous kind of comedy acting. You know him for the movie, like what was the one him and they did about North Korea or South Korea?
Interview.
The interview, yeah, yeah. So seeing
him
like
and
different
James
stuff,
Franco?
seeing him evolve from that to Pineapple Express to something like this, which is, it's still a comedy, but it's not in that ridiculous sense where we're typically expect from him.
A ton of them. Super bad.
Yeah, super bad.
I've really
the one I love a lot that's like low key. It's the I think the Green Hornet or whatever, the hero movie one he had. Yeah.
I never watched that one.
Dude, that one was really good. I need to go back and watch that. Here's
what I found out. Just by looking up 21 Jump Street. In early 2015, a female-driven 21 Jump Street film was rumored to also be in the works. In December 2016, Rodney Rothman was confirmed to direct the film. In December of 2018, Tiffany Haddish was confirmed to lead with Aquafina. When's that coming?
Bro,
I need that. Especially after Ocean's 8.
Tiffany Haddish in a role like that. Please have Ice Cube. Oh my God. You got Tiffany Haddish and Ice Cube in a interaction.
Toe to toe.
Dog.
She gonna go toe to toe.
That is
Aquafina.
That is just comedic gold.
Aquafina. Let's go. Have you seen Ocean's 8? The all-female one?
I have not.
The whole cast.
I need to watch Crazy Rich Asian because she's in there.
Seen that either. Yeah.
She's in there, and I've heard good
Ocean's
stuff about it.
It's not Ocean's 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with male or female. To me, that trilogy is probably going to go down as one of the more underrated trilogies ever. Like that, those movies don't need to be complicated. They just need to be entertaining, and they are. That's like Jason Bourne. The first 3 Jason Bourne movies probably going to go down as one of the most underrated trilogies of all time. That being said, Ocean's 8 is good. Sandra Bullock's good. Rihanna's good. Awkwafina's good. What's her name? There's a ton. There's a ton of actresses in there. Kate Blanchett's in it. She's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one's pretty solid too.
Nah, right now this is like the point of this is like the time of the year where I start watching more movies as like it's coming into summertime, and so especially once like the NBA dies down after the finals, it's like there's nothing on, so it's just watching a bunch of movies. So I got a bunch of movies I got to catch up with, or also just watch in general. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of that. But gonna go ahead, get on out of here. My laptop's at 13%. This thing won't charge, so just gonna finna get out of here. Culture Discourse Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at C Discourse Pod. If you're trying to hop on the pod or whatever, got questions, topic ideas, you want to hear anything from us, shoot us a tweet. Feel free to DM us, whatever. Let us know. Follow me at Thundercat Felix.
You can follow me at Chase Actually.
Yeah, holla at us. And we got a few more episodes. We'll probably ride it out through the NBA Finals and then take a short break during the summertime and see y'all back in fall time. So, in the meantime, though, we'll be back next week.
Yes, sir.
Going to Miami tomorrow.
Ooh, I was going to ask you what
with Fred.
Tell Miami I said hello.
It's literally, it was one of those, he's just like,
are y'all going to just...
Yo, trying to go to Miami for the weekend? I was like, sure. I mean, why not? I almost looked at it as like a graduation trip.
End up on a cruise.
Bro, that's one of those things I'm like,
5 extra days, I
bro,
guess.
I'm going to go to Miami and not just come back. Probably end up, I was like, this is nice. You know what? Stay here. Nah, but yeah, we're going to go. The only thing that sucks is we're driving and like, I'm dreading the drive back.
Was it like 12? Is it 12?
12, but like I have to drive to Asheville and then we're driving to.
Oh Jesus!
It's like, dude, we're doing.
Oh Jesus!
We're doing quite the trip,
Help.
And it's.
He can't come down this way.
And I need to be back by like early Monday. I don't know. The drive back is gonna be rough. Your boy's gonna be struggling all next week, but it's all good. It's gonna be worth it.
You didn't take Monday off?
No, so I have it off. It's just like I do like some side work for Becky.
You got another hustle.
Yeah, and so I kind of got to take care of that at some point.
Right.
By like, I need to take care of that by like 7 a.m. Monday. And so my thing, I'm like,
oh no,
I'm like,
yeah, you just you don't.
I know,
you don't
I know.
Cut the check or anything. You let me know if you need some help.
I know. I'm like low key, like I might have to leave my key with someone just in case I don't make it back in time.
Oh my gosh,
I'll figure it out. But Culture Discourse Podcast. Catch y'all next week. We out.